twice. Yes, we're going to read it twice. Why twice? Not once. You can read it 3 times, no problem, so long as you have your speed. But to make sure you understand it, do not read it once. Do not read it only one time. One time is not enough. One time is not sufficient. It is not adequate. It's not enough. Read this dialogue twice, 2 times, not once, twice, and not thrice if you wish thrice, but you're wasting time if you keep reading it several times. And answer the questions on it suitably. Answer the questions on it suitably means correctly, means according to how they have been said. If I say, how are you? Don't say, I never slept at night. You are not answering suitably. How are you? Well, I'm not fine. Why are you not fine? Well, I slept on a very bad bed last night. You see the point? How are you? I'm not fine. Why are you not fine? What happened? Well, I slept on a very poor bed that broke my back. That is why, and I cannot even smile. I'm not the one laughing. That is why I cannot even wear a smile. That way, you are answering the question that has been asked. Be relevant. Be straight to the point. Answer the question asked, not the one you dream of being asked. I repeat, always answer the question that has been asked, not the one you dream of being asked of you to answer. Be relevant, straight to the point. Hit the nail on the head. Drive it. Hit the nail on the head. Not beside it, but hit the nail on the head. Be straight, be direct, be relevant. Taking care of animal needs. Yes, we need to take care of animal needs. Kabona Kikonde. Okay, at least on this page, we are sure there are 2 people who have participated. Kabona, not Kabona. Have you opened your eyes? Are you keen? Are you observant enough to see that there are 2 O's? Yes, this name is Kabona. And so when you are answering the question, answering any question where this name has to appear, be sure of spelling it properly. And capital K, well written. The examiner knows that many of us here have problems with writing capital K. As they write capital K, some candidates, as they write capital K, comma, some candidates will write it wrongly, like this. If this first stroke is taller than this one, then this is not a capital K. A capital K must have this stroke at the same level as this one. Have you got it? Yes. Then this other one will follow. And then these 2 will be para, not paragraphs, Juma. These 2 lines will be para. Oh, I know some mathematics at least. These 2 lines, line A and line B, will be para. Yes, David, thank you, parallel. So these 2 lines will be parallel, meaning that this stroke here, this pole plus this stroke meet up there. Likewise, this one at the bottom meets that one. So this one qualifies to be a capital letter. So do not make the mistake, which is very commonly made by careless people who write capital K like this. This one taller. This is totally wrong. Some people have gone to secondary school, university, college, university, become teachers when they do not know the difference between a capital letter of K and a small letter of K. But for you, you are lucky that you are on the e-learning teachers project Uganda, and these are things that you must be taught, because we are communicating, and communication is all about making sure that things that are mentioned correctly, written correctly, so that the communication is complete and superb and, excellent. So Kabona, last week we learned about children's rights. Do animals also need to be protected? Kikonde. while you are presenting a dialogue, while I am presenting a dialogue, I must be sure, you must be sure, that the people talking speak in different ways. It is wrong for Kikonde to speak the same way as Kabona. So each time I am reading a conversation, I should remember that the words spoken here are quotations. They are the very words, the real words that were spoken by people. In a conversation, we do not quote them, we do not use quotation marks, but in a paragraph, in a passage with paragraphs, we quote them. So you'd say, Kabona said, comma, opening quotation marks. Last week, we learned about children's rights. Do animals also need to be protected? Question mark, closing quotation marks, in a paragraph. But in a dialogue, we do not quote the quotations. So the words spoken are spoken differently. Kabona may speak in a very big voice, and yet Kikonde may speak in a simple and smooth voice, a soft voice. Maybe Kabona has a deep voice, deeper than mine. Last week, that's a deep voice. Last week, we learned about children's rights. Do animals also need to be protected? And when you reach Kikonde, change the tone. Yes, Kabona. Animals also have needs and freedom. Now you see, you have differentiated between Kabona's talk and Kikonde's. Let's go to the next page. We said we would read it twice, and we're going to do just that. Kabona, remember the deep voice. Needs and freedom. Needs and freedom. It's not a question. It is an exclamation. What are the needs of animals? I only know human needs. Okay. Then a small voice comes back. Animals need food, water, protection, peace, love, with commas, treatment, housing, and, no comma, between the two last nouns mentioned, and security. Kikonde again. Animals, he's Kikonde, but his voice is small. Animals need food, water, protection, peace, love, treatment, housing, and security. That is Kikonde. I remember his voice. It's a small voice, not a big one, not a deep one. It's a bit loud. The deep voice comes back. Yes, I read about that in last week's New Vision newspaper. Who speaks like this? Kabona speaks like this. What are their freedoms? You seem to know a lot. What are their freedoms? You seem to know a lot. You appear to know a lot. You appear to know much. Okay. Just like Kikonde said in his big voice, animals need food, water, protection, peace, love, treatment, housing, which is accommodation, and security. Yes, I read, not read. I read, past tense. I read about that in last week's. Last week gives it the past tense. Last week's New Vision newspaper. Remember, not newspaper, paper, not paper. Paper. Paper is something different. It is P-E-P-P-E-R. Pepper is different. Pepper is something, one of the things that we put in cookery. It's a condiment. It is a spice, one of the spices that are used in cooking. Pepper, red pepper, green pepper, capsicum, and so on. That is pepper, P-E-P-P-E-R. Okay, but this is paper. Kabona, yes, I read about that in last week's New Vision newspaper. What are their freedoms? Animals' freedoms. You appear. To seem is to appear. It appears to me that it is going to rain. It seems that it is going to rain. You appear, you seem to know a lot, to know much. It seems you know a lot. It seems you know much. It seems you know a great deal about animal freedom. It seems you know a lot. You appear to know a lot, to know much. And there's an exclamation mark, meaning that Kabona wanted a lot to know. He wanted very much to know a lot about animal freedom. Kikonde ba. Okay, what are their freedoms? No, Kabona had a bigger voice. What are their freedoms? You seem to know a lot. You seem to know much. Now Konde came back with his small voice. Okay, again he was coming to talk and he was closing the conversation. So in the dialogue, he came in last. Animals should be kept. Now this one asks, what are their freedoms? You seem to know a lot. So Kikonde was answering this question. What are their freedoms? What are animal freedoms? Animals should be kept in their natural habitats. Very important. That is why even in UWEC, in Uganda Wildlife Education Center, animals are kept in their natural